it's Vela here. Welcome back to my channel. I wasn't posting for a while, but I'm back. It's not like I was ever really gone. I was just not posting videos. But today we are back with another speed build, and I have built a New Orleans inspired row house, like a shotgun house. Once again, I really love this type of houses, and this time I did it in only one floor and stuff like that. So it's not very spacious. It is one bedroom, one bathroom house, but I think it's super cute. And I actually recolored this wallpaper that is originally by Plum Baptiste Society, specifically for this build because I really wanted this minty color, and I also wanted it to be a little withered, a little more older looking than most of the in-game like sightings are. And this wallpaper was perfect except for the right color swatch, but fortunately I know how to do a basic recolor. I'm not very good at that yet, but I knew how to do that, and I was able to get it to be the color I wanted. And if you want this recolor, it only comes in 3 variations of this mint color, nothing else, because I was just testing it out and I just wanted it for this build. But I will still link it down below. I will link to my Tumblr where you can find it. I'll link to the post. And I am like interested in recoloring more stuff like wallpapers and stuff like that. That's relatively easy, so I might be recoloring this more or some other things as well in the future, but for now I'm still learning, and it's not like I'm not very good at it, so I can do it, but it's not like very fast or anything like that. But I thought I'd share this in case you want to download this build and don't mind using a bit of build and buy CC. Otherwise, mostly this build is CC free. I only use the wallpaper in a couple of swatches, and then for a shed in the backyard I use a custom like roof texture. But all of those things can of course be like replaced very easily, and that is all of the CC I use. So everything else is in game. I use lots of Strangerville items, as you can see. Like I said in my latest build, I think I can't live without those doors and windows anymore. I love them so much. And then I just use a mix and match of everything. There is no limitations, and there's not a very specific theme to this home, I think. So there's a bit of everything, but I definitely wanted it to be like kind of old looking. You can see here I'm trying to do different kinds of tiles that are a little bit more traditional looking, but it's still a contemporary home. So the furnishing is contemporary and modern and kind of bohemian. Some parts are very simple, but the living room is quite cluttered. I love it. It looks quite bohemian, but it's still, I think, very stylish and very nice. I would love to live in this house. But yeah, it's just an old house that is now inhabited by some young people. I was imagining a couple and their small dog. That's who I furnished for, and I actually moved Penny Pizzazz, who I just gave a makeover to this house. I think I will be playing with her a little bit. I just wanted to like play as her a little bit, and to playtest this house I needed someone, and I might play with her. I thought that the furnishing in this place was very much her style, not necessarily the house itself or Strangerville as a town, but I do think she could live in here, so that's who I moved in. But you can of course do anything you'd like, and the lot is quite big, so there's definitely space to expand at some point if you would like to. But for now, this is a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom house, and the kitchen is quite small, but I think it's very nice. I think there's enough space in all the rooms. None of the rooms is like really small, and there's a nice living space. And then yeah, like I said, there's room for a dog. You could have a cat if you just add a litter box, or you could have a big dog, but there's just one dog bed or a pet bed, and that is the smaller size, so they won't be able to sleep in that, but you don't necessarily need it anyway. And I was using a lot of those new items we got in the latest update. I haven't built anything since that came out, so I was really gravitating towards those things, and they do suit this house, I think, very well. Like when I started furnishing, I knew that I wanted to use those items, so I kind of based the theming and the like style around them. And here is the living room. I think it is my favorite room in this whole house, and it's very interesting. I do actually end up using this couch and ottoman you can see here from the bowling night stuff pack, yeah, in this black and orange swatch, and it's very interesting. I don't think I've used it before. And here I've put this jungle adventure fireplace in the corner here. I've sized it down as well, so it's not the correct size, but it does actually work perfectly. I tested it, your Sims can get to it, and the fire looks okay and stuff like that. So I was very happy with that, because I really wanted them to have a corner fireplace, and we don't have any in the game, which I think it's interesting, because at least where I'm from, it used to be very common to have those like quite tall and narrow fireplaces in corners. Like even my house used to have them in every apartment, so I would really want to see those. Also, because all of the fireplaces in game right now are just so big, I would love to use more of them, but usually there's just not enough space. And if I end up using a fireplace, I might not use a TV, or something else might be, like compromised to get the fireplace to fit in. But I think this living room turns out very nicely. I am able to fit in everything I want, both the fireplace and a big TV, and I think this TV setup is really nice, and I loved how those wooden swatches matched. For once I was able to find the wooden color in all of the things I wanted to use. The shelves are from Jungle Adventure, the coffee table that I use under the TV is from Cats and Dogs, I think, and then the side table is from the new update, so it's base game, and they're not exactly the same, but they are very close in color, so I was very happy with that. I do hope we would have more of those matching swatches. I think we all do. And then I just put in lots of flowers and some lights and some paintings, and I do put in a couple of easels and stuff like that. So I think the people who live here, or one of the people who live here, are very artsy. Maybe they're in the freelancer career, because I did use most of those things from the update, and I think it's a very artsy and cute home. This is my personal style. I would love to live in this house and this like apartment, like both the exterior and the interior are completely my style. It's like kind of rustic but not too old-fashioned, and I love colorful shotgun houses, and I wish we had them in Europe. We don't really have anything like that in Europe. I would really want to visit New Orleans to go see all the great houses they have there. Yeah, it's just a style I always come back to. Like now too, I was not building for a very long time. I was away for like a couple weeks and I didn't build, and I wasn't feeling inspired about The Sims at all. And building especially felt really hard, but then I went back to this row house kind of thing, and that just always works for me. It's one of my favorite styles of builds, and yeah, it really works for me, and I do really love this house a lot. Here in the living room on the shelves, I just put everything I could find, and I also put the new book we got on the ottoman, so you can either sit there or it can act as a table. And here I put these easels in the corner. They are you have to unlock them in game, but if you download this build it should be fine. It's not a problem, but they are unlockable. And then we have a little foyer here which leads to the dining area, which is quite nice as well. Usually I have a hard time finding space for dining areas, but this time the floor plan, everything just came together and I was really happy about that. And I was definitely, again, I found inspiration to build because this was so much fun. Yeah, I'm really glad about that. And here I did put down this bigger dog bed, but I ended up removing it and instead putting down these two I don't know what are these called, these seats from City Living. I figured the dog can just sleep anywhere and that could be still kind of be his spot. And I do put one bed in later in the bedroom, and then I use some wood paneling here just to bring in some more color. I do really like the color scheme in this whole house. I brought some of the mint color from the exterior to the interior wherever I could, like where there wasn't any other conflicting color. It's not so visible here in the living room, but there's some mints in the kitchen and some blue in the bedroom and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it works out pretty nicely, and I do really love this living room and this shelf full of clutter. It's definitely what I like personally, and I just think it's so adorable and so realistic. Oh, here is one more CC item. I did use this little flower pot, but it's so tiny that if you don't have it you won't be missing anything. But I will link all of the CC I have used down below, including my own recolor of the wallpaper, so if you do want it you can go get it. And here is the bathroom again, quite a big bathroom for a house this small, but I was happy that I could fit everything in, both a shower and a bathtub and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a little bit interesting, like the color scheme and all that in there, with the floor tiles. It's a little interesting, and one of the walls is a black brick texture, otherwise it's white, and then I bringing some of those golden or bronzy colors in the appliances to tie in with the floors. Yeah, I don't know, nothing too special. Then I just put in some cabinets, and I do put in candles as well as a speaker. I thought it would be very nice to listen to music while you're taking a bath, and yeah, I think it turns out pretty nice. And yeah, I had to put in a bathtub because there's a dog, you need that for a dog. But also I thought that these people, you know, they do like a little bit of luxury. It's not a huge house, but it's still not a tiny house either. Like, it's not maybe that affordable. I can't remember how much it was in game, but judging by the amount of clutter and like decorations I've used, I'd say it's not the cheapest. And you know, it's a couple or a sim who are very down to earth, but now and then they like a little bit of luxury and a little bit of like me time, and have a bath with music and candles and maybe a bath bomb and stuff like that. So yeah, that's definitely who I was kind of imagining. Here is the dining space. I used this round table from Jungle Adventure, and then I moved some of the chairs around it so that they're not really usable in game, but at least 3 chairs are still usable, so that should be fine. And here I wanted to do a little shed in the backyard, and I decided to put some graffiti on it, as this is the only part of the lot that is kind of like by the sidewalk, and it's a shed, so maybe they wouldn't care as much. I put some graffiti in and some posters, and then on the yard side of the thing, there's this little, like, it's not really even a shed because it's not closed, but it's this little like shade thing where they store some stuff that can be that can handle the weather and stuff like that. I just put some paintings down there. It wouldn't be the best place to store paintings for sure, but I thought it looked nice and stuff like that. So, you know, it doesn't really matter in The Sims, like things won't get bad, but in real life, don't put your paintings outside for a longer time. And yeah, here I use this roof texture. It is also by Plum Tea Society, so everything is by the same creators, who are now unfortunately have been inactive for a while. It's a shame, but I do get it. Like, of course, I appreciate their decision, but I'm also a little bit sad because they made such amazing CC. But you know, I'm glad that it still works, and I'm glad we can still have it. They are inactive, but they have like kept all of the CC on their website, so that's very nice, and I do really appreciate that. Then here in the garden, there's nothing much going on. I decided not to really put any furniture in there or anything like that. So I just do this little flower box here by the kitchen windows, some flowers and some palm trees later on as well. And I do put like a few planter boxes in, as well as some more plants on the front yard. But that is it, and otherwise only the like front porch patio kind of thing has any furniture on there. But I really love that space. I wanted them to have like this sitting area at the front, and I decided to do this little shade thing, as well as these like columns from City Living anyway, to give a little bit of privacy. And I imagine the roof part here would be glass, but we can't have like a flat roof glass in game. I wish we could, but I just did that with those like little tiny fences from Get to Work. I think it looks great, and I imagine that would be such a great spot to just sit and chill and drink lemonade or drink iced tea. It's getting warm and it's so amazing. It's been so cold in Finland lately, like, well, of course, it's been winter, but it's so cold in winter that, you know, I haven't had any food outside in like 7 months. And every time when spring comes, people just gather around and go like the terraces and stuff like that outside of cafes and bars and go on picnics, and I want to go on my first picnic and stuff like that very soon. Yeah, I don't know, that was kind of what I was thinking when I was building that porch, that I want to sit outside again, and that, you know, it's springtime, and yay, I'm so excited about that. In Strangerville, I guess it's warm all year around, and I'm a little bit jealous about that. But they can have their drinks all year around, and they can enjoy their garden and their space outside all year around. But yeah, here is the kitchen. We've come back to decorate it. Here are the pet bowls for the dog, and then I've just put this little side table here to act as like extra counter space, even though in game that's not really usable that way. But I did put like a bread box and some some things there, like the drink tray and stuff like that you would actually use in cooking and stuff like that. They have like the basic electronics and a dishwasher. There's not a sink in this kitchen or any like extra things like a coffee maker or anything because it's not that big. But they have everything they need, and I did test it and it works completely fine. The layout is a little interesting. I shoved this like one counter to this corner here behind the fridge, and the fridge is like next to the door, but it works, and I think that's quite realistic too in a small space. And then there were some mint colored details there. There's not much going on like in terms of color in here. It's mostly blacks and whites and then just some accents of color, but I do really like it. And then here is the bedroom. It is for 2 people and the dog, or 1 person, and they also have the study area here. It's quite a spacious room. I maybe imagine it used to be 2 rooms maybe, and then they knocked down a wall, because I was looking at like floor plans of shotgun houses and they're quite small, and usually there's still at least 2 or 3 bedrooms in them. So I haven't ever been to one, but I imagine they are quite cramped. And here I used more of the new items. We got those paintings leaning to the wall, and I also used this little sign from Get to Work, and I put some lights behind it, so I kind of wanted it to be illuminated, is that the word? And then I put those shelves under it. I end up switching those shelves for this other thing because the lighting was really bad. Like all the shelves look like they're different color even though they are not, but you know, the lighting in game can be like that. Sometimes it's a little bit annoying. I wish it could be improved, but I do think it looks fine in the end, and you can see the change in the screenshots. I didn't record that one, but it looks very similar, so nothing much change. And here is the like study area with the new items, the desk and the bookcase, as well as the new laptop, and I gave them the sketch pad as well because, like I said, I felt like they were quite artsy and they might be in the freelancer career, maybe the painter one in this case. And then just some more decoration, nothing too crazy. The bedroom is still quite like there's a lot of empty space, like it's not fully crammed or cluttered, but I think I like that. I think these people want to have their bedroom be very neat, and yeah, I do like it. And here I do this thing with this painting and this like curtain thingy, both from City Living, where it looks like the painting is hanging from the ceiling instead of the wall. I've done it a few times before. I'm not sure if I've done it on video, but I do really like the effect it gives. So you go and find those curtain things that hang from the ceiling, and you have to size them down, maybe lift them up if you can or have to, and yeah, you can use that. I think it adds a little bit more detail and I think it looks nice. But yeah, we are soon done. Here's just the garden area, nothing much there, but you can find this house on the gallery under my username veloniada or under my hashtag velosims as the Minty Shotgun. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon again. Bye bye!